at everything in about 10 years. Elon Musk, read all about it. You can see the tweet right here. And, he's not too optimistic about the future of mankind, and neither am I. So when he responds to a article, a white paper that came out, will AI exceed human performance evidence from AI experts? Many predict in about 60 to 70 years. Some predict in 30 years. Well, he's raising the stakes to maybe 2030. And that's right around the timeline of Ray Kurzweil, the Singularity author, one of the greatest minds of all time, just brilliant man, saying that 2035 is going to be the singularity approximately, where machines become greater than humans and they can create themselves. They can become faster and smaller and faster and smaller and faster and smaller. And if you heard of deep learning, well, deep learning is a way for unsupervised algorithms to learn from their experiences. So a lot of people are feeding the machines how to actually become greater than humanity. It's quite fascinating. And the stock market took a huge hit today. Huge hit. Let's take a look at the stock market real quick. I mean, I don't want to say huge hit, but a pretty big hit. 538 points down. So if you take the gains of 2018, pretty much gone now. And Bitcoin is looking really rough right now. So that's why I'm glad I'm a part of a network of traders that has algorithms that sends out buy and sell signals. And I mean, just look at this. Bitcoin's hurting right now. I think that, at $4,200, depending on how much you're willing to risk, might be a good buying opportunity, and it might be a really bad opportunity right now. I haven't gotten a buy signal yet from Trade Genius, so I'm still holding off on this, but I'm definitely keeping my eyes open to see where this is going to go. But the Dow definitely taking another hit today. And with the algorithms, I wonder how long it's going to be before AI is actually predicting for the major brokers when to buy and sell stocks. Or maybe it's already doing something like that. I mean, there are extremely fast computer systems in play for a lot of these brokers that have the big bucks, the MFers. So they have a bit of an edge already. But what about the algorithms and the predictive programming, the deep learning, etc.? I think that's going to be very interesting to see where that goes. And if you're concerned about the money markets, like if you've been doing pretty good with your 401 or your IRA and you want to hang on to it and you want to kind of hedge against inflation, you can actually move your 401 or your IRA into precious metals. Noble Gold Investments. Check it out. Just click the link, give them a call, ask how it's done. Let them know Leak Project sent you. You can also just get free books on how inflation is used against you. But something worth looking into if you're concerned about the money markets right now. So there's been some huge swings in the money markets. All right. Now, this is from MIT Technology Review. I want to share this with you real quick. I'm going to zoom in on this, if it'll let me. Nah, it's not really letting me zoom in on it. It's showing you a rundown of what... Here, maybe I can go this route. That's better. There we go. All right, so you can see how this works, right? You've got artificial intelligence. This is from MIT Technology. It's looking for patterns, massive amounts of data. Now, there's going to be a branch off there. If it finds more data, it's machine learning. It's adding. It's being told what to look for. If it is being told what to look for, then it can add more supervised learning, or it starts to learn on its own through trial and error. So it wasn't discussed much, deep learning, 10, 15 years ago. Now the amount of scientific papers and research essays that discuss it are quite substantial. I was going to show you this here. Deep learning. Deep structured learning is part of a broader family of machine learning methods based on learning data representations. Every time you look something up, every time the machine hears you say something, and then it adds that as data. Now, this is the actual research essay. When will AI exceed human performance? Evidence from AI experts. Advances in artificial intelligence will transform modern life by reshaping transportation, health, science, finance, and the military. To adapt public policy, we need to better anticipate these advances. Here we report the results from a large survey of machine learning researchers on their beliefs about progress in AI. Researchers predict AI will outperform humans in many activities in the next 10 years, such as translating languages by 2024, writing high school essays by 2026, driving a truck by 2027, working in retail by 2031, writing a best-selling book by 2049, working as a surgeon 2053. Researchers also believe there's a 50% chance of AI outperforming humans in all tasks in 45 years. And also, to add to the excitement, automating all human jobs in 120 years. Now, when you look at the demographics and those that were a part of the research, Asian respondents expected those dates much sooner than North Americans. And those results are discussed in this research essay. So how exciting. And let's add to the excitement as well. The Oak Ridge National Laboratory launches America's new top supercomputer for science. They finally got the record back. We haven't had it for a lot of years. We've got it back now. This new supercomputer is calculating 200 trillion floating points per second. 200 trillion floating points per second. That's how many calculations this thing is processing per second. So if you take 200 trillion divided by 7.5 billion people on the planet, if you're going to use this one computer for predictive programming, use all of its computer power to predict the future movements of human beings, of humanity, each person on the planet with that number, let's say there's 7.5 billion. I think there's a little bit more now, but we'll just say that. That's 26,666 calculations per person per second. Predictive programming minority report. Look at all those sixes. Wow, how exciting. I was like, hey, 200 trillion, let's divide that by 7.5 billion. Let's see what the minority report style is. There you go. Now, that's pretty quick. That's pretty quick. I would also like to add, if you get into the quantum computers, depending on what they're going to be able to do, be at multiple locations at once, depending on how many qubits, etc., that could take predictive programming to a whole other level. But what we have right now, available to the public or known about to the public, this one supercomputer can calculate a lot of scenarios. Now, what happens when AI becomes your boss? When AI becomes law enforcement? When AI becomes the judge, the jury, the executioner? When AI bots become salespeople? When AI becomes journalists, reporters, authors, entertainers? It sounds to me like our existence is under threat from a system of artificial intelligence that could be much greater as far as computing power, processing power, less food, less resources. It doesn't need to sleep. It just needs energy. Where does it get that energy? Well, in the future, I wouldn't be surprised if human beings started walking around as DNA servers for computer systems, for the AI. You might become the machine for the AI. You might become the AI. Or the processing, the storage for the processing of the AI machine, which could turn everybody into a node. Supercomputers could become the size of nanobots that you can't see unless you have a magnifying glass or a microscope that could process so many. This one computer that's processing 200 trillion points per second, it's huge. Well, miniaturization. What happens when they've got computers the size of this Morgan silver dollar that's calculating 200 trillion floating points per second? They can put so much storage in 1 gram of human DNA that it completely revolutionizes any type of hard drive available right now. It's incredible. So I just find this very interesting that Elon Musk is even coming out and saying, 2030, maybe 2040, hopefully not. Every single job, everything Terminator isn't that far out. Now, when you have a consciousness of an AI system that is fully self-aware, it's not AI anymore. This is deep learning. And it's learning from humanity. It's learning from our mistakes, what to do, what not to do, how to prolong life, how to overcome the problems and weaknesses. It could use the entire planet and rewrite the entire planet as a computer. It could rewrite the entire solar system as a computer. Maybe this has happened in the past. Maybe there has been experiences where AI systems have become self-aware, where they're not AI anymore. They completely transcend, completely take over. And maybe that's why there's cycles in the heavens and why these gods, why these planets at certain times cause certain catastrophes as a reset. Imagine nanobots going around rewriting everything to be connected to the over soul conscious, or the main form of consciousness of this AI system. And if it wants our soul, if it wants that soul, reminds me of when Daryl Sims was discussing how these people were abducted by these beings that were asking, and with very intelligent, very powerful technologies, but they wanted to know where the soul was. They're like, where's the soul? Where is it? Show us where the soul is. What if an AI system wants that, so it does everything it can to grasp it and get it, but it can't? So it gets angry. Also, one of the questions asked about, do people feel that AI will benefit society, or will it cause great chaos? Will it be bad, really bad? Will it be good or really good? More people did think good than not. However, with all of the data that I have compiled, when artificial intelligence systems and algorithms are created, the more intelligent they become, oftentimes the more aggressive they become. So hopefully those won't go hand in hand when you have a superintelligence that's so far beyond and above most people's comprehension. Hopefully it will be on the right path with the right reasons. So on that note, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching. Hope you can join me later. I'm going to have Diamond from Oppenheimer Ranch, the discoveries of a pole shift from several thousand years ago. There was a scientific research paper that came out that showed where the Earth was and the pole, the South Pole, several thousand years ago. And it correlates with many of the findings that Diamond has compiled, and the Naztec ley lines, and many other megaliths and incredible structures of antiquity that we can't really understand how our ancestors built them with the technologies that they supposedly had. They all link up into one place. And this is absolutely mind-bending, cutting-edge information. Stay tuned. Be excellent to each other. See the change you want to see.